their zone offense. Didn't get into their attack, but look at this play.
The steal by Shead, finding Mamu! Says knock you out!
Defender gets spun. Hello!
The Raps are one of the biggest surprises so far this season. The team has great chemistry. They share the rock, play defense, and play with tons of energy. Scottie Barnes is the engine driving the team with outstanding two-way play, and Brandon Ingram is fully bought in, giving the Raptors an offensive weapon that they lacked in past years. Both guys are playing at all-star levels. But what some fans might not realize yet is the Raptors have a couple of monsters coming off the bench and making massive impacts in limited minutes. A couple of relatively unknown second-round draft picks that have their fingerprints all over the Raptors' hot start, Jamal Shead and Sandro Mamukelashvili. But Raps fans just call this guy Mamu. By the end of the season, Shead and Mamu could very well become known commodities around the league. Let's start with Shead, who I believe is currently one of the most underrated players in the entire league.
Shead digs in, takes it, Scottie!
When Shead is on the court this season, Toronto has outscored their opponents by 8.7 points per 100 possessions. That's almost 5 points better than when Shead is off the floor. Still, the Raptors continue to play him less than 20 minutes per game on average. Shead is undersized, even as a point guard at 6'1" and 200 pounds. But don't be fooled, he's got some blistering athletic abilities.
RJ, no! Shead! You can't deny him! Jamal Shead!
Shead spent 4 years terrorizing his opponents at the collegiate level for the Houston Cougars. As a senior, Shead was voted as the Big East Player of the Year, a consensus first-team All-American, and was voted as the best defensive player in all of college basketball. Yet, being a 22-year-old 6'1" point guard with sub-30% three-point accuracy, Shead slipped all the way to the second round in the 2024 draft.
10 seconds to shoot, 35 left in overtime. Shead, the hop, the floater, just magnificent.
The pick is already looking like a highway robbery, as Shead has brought invigorating two-way play and leadership off the bench and is already one of the best backup point guards in the entire NBA. This development has uncanny similarities to when the Raptors signed undersized point guard Fred VanVleet as an undrafted free agent after his storied college career at Wichita State in 2016. Seems like Toronto just has a knack for finding these overlooked gems that have been passed on for all the wrong reasons. Shead doesn't have the scoring abilities that VanVleet possesses, but he's a relentless defender and is already one of the best playmakers in the entire league. Don't believe me? If you measure his performance on a 36 or per 100 possessions basis to normalize his stats versus other players who are starters, Shead currently ranks second in assists, only to Jokic. And despite passing the ball so frequently, he seldom makes poor decisions. Shead ranks amongst the league leaders in assist-to-turnover ratio as well. To illustrate how talented Shead is as a passer, let's take a look at some of the passes he made during the Raptors' recent winning streak. Here, Raps down 10, Shead moves through his progressions without forcing a pass to Mamu or Grady Dick. Then, watch how he moves Mitchell with his eyes by quickly signaling that he's passing the ball outside the arc to Battle for the three. This opens up plenty of space for Battle to receive the pass in stride, cutting to the basket before finishing with a layup, bringing the game back to single digits. Here's a play where Shead drives on Proctor, and look at how he moves Mobley, the reigning Defensive Player of the Year, with his eyes to open up space for Mamu, cutting to the basket. Mobley is left looking lost in no man's land, leaving Mamu open for an uncontested finish. On this play, Shead completely fools Luke Traverse, before finding Mamu, cutting for another bucket. Shead's got amazing chemistry with Barnes. I love when they are on the court together. On this play, Scottie has great position one-on-one, with Igor Dayomin defending him, a matchup they want to take advantage of all day. A lot of players just lob this one up to Scottie and let him go to work, but Shead has the presence of mind to look off Zaire Williams, the would-be help defender, to ensure an uncontested two-handed slam for Barnes. And here's a play where Mobley is trailing Shead, almost daring him to attempt a layup so he could swat it away. Shead fakes the layup to fool Mobley, and then throws a Steve Nash-like mid-air behind the back pass to Scottie for another uncontested finish at the rim. He's also unreal at kick-out passes when he's driving. Here, Shead has 2 players hawking him while he's driving to the basket. With 4 players, all taller than him, disrupting his vision, Shead still manages to throw a bullet pass to Barnes in the corner for an open 3. On this play, look how high up Shead gets in traffic before dishing it out to Dick in the corner. Dick swings it to Walter, who knocks it down. And then here he goes over the top to find Ingram under the basket for a lay-in. What we're trying to show you here is that Shead's passing abilities are already off the charts and are only going to improve. Now for Mamu.
I'm not going to butcher his last name, even though I'm going to try it. Sandro Mamukelashvili. I'm going to call him Mamu for the rest of this, because that's what everybody calls him up there in the north. He's been phenomenal for this team. Every team needs a player like Mamu.
Mamukelashvili, the Georgian beast, has been absolutely tearing it up off the bench so far this season for the Raps. As soon as he comes into the game, he's shifting the energy, scoring relentlessly, and making us all wonder, where the did this guy come from?
Attacking Mamu with the throwdown. Get out of the way.
Mamu's net rating so far this season is even more impressive than Shead's. Actually, when Mamu isn't on the court, the Raps have relatively average, outscoring their opponents by 1.2 points per 100 possessions. But with Mamu, Toronto has outscored their opponents 13.5 points per. Another second-round pick after spending 4 years at Seton Hall, Mamu was considered undersized for a center and not athletic enough to play forward at the NBA level. Another totally wrong assessment. Mamu has shown quickly that he is incredibly skilled and has underrated athleticism for his size. He excels in pick and rolls and has been shooting the lights out from 3 and has even been a threat in transition. To examine just how impactful Mamu has been off the bench, let's compare his 36 stats to Naz Reid in 2023-24 when he won the Sixth-Man Trophy. Both players play relatively similar roles, and the stats indicate that Mamu has a comparable impact. Yet Mamu still only plays 18.5 minutes per game for the Raps. Part of the reason for this is because Darko has yet to play Mamu on the court at the same time as starting center Jakob Poeltl. But this needs to be re-examined. Unlike Poeltl, Mamu is not a pure center and can stretch the floor. While I think Poeltl brings a lot to the table and should remain the starting center, I do believe that Mamu should see a minutes increase similar to Shead, because he's been too good to only be on the court for 18 minutes per game. And you can bet it's a matter of time before Raps start testing out some new lineups and getting those 2 secret weapons more game action. But we want to know what you guys think. Let us know in the comments and don't forget to subscribe.